People, hello, how are we? Hopefully we're all doing well. I'm Tom. Let's talk about Wilder. What's left for him? I think he's got three options, right? You might disagree with me. Fair enough. Let me know. And I think first and foremost, retirement. I think that's probably your best option. Look, I like to see the fighter retire from boxing rather than boxing retire the fighter. So from that element, from that aspect, from that point of view, let's see Wilder retire. Probably for the best. Get out there whilst you can. You've made your money. You've done what you were sort out to do. Get out of there. Assuming he's not doing that, I think he's got two options. I think number one, the more unlikely option, is drop a weight class. Bridgerweight has a serious lack of competition at the moment. It's not teeming with fighters. It's not teeming with top level opposition. So look, I think you're actually in the limit. I think, what is it, Bridgerweight's 200 to 220. I think you're actually in that limit. 220 to 215, you got 214 last time. I think you're in the Bridgerweight limit. Drop to Bridgerweight, fight Lawrence Okoli. That's an option, right? That's a probably not a big money fight, but a big-ish money fight. Two tall guys that are the same weight. Go in a bit. I don't mind that fight. You know, if you've been hanging around with the heavy guys your whole life, drop into Bridgerweight and fighting a Lawrence Okoli is not going to be intimidating for you. So that's an option. And then maybe drop down again to Cruiserweight. Once you've done that with a bit more opposition in, go down to Bridger, go down to Cruiser, do reverse of what typically Lawrence Okoli's doing. Bridger, Cruiser, you're the new Lawrence Okoli in town. You're an older guy. Bit of power, not great boxing skills, you know what I'm trying to say. So that's an option. And then you can fight Jaya Pataya. You've got, Chris Billam-Smith. You got Richard Riakporhe, Jordan Thompson. You got they're just the British guys. You got way more fights that can be made of that kind of Zalfa Barrett. You know what I mean? You got those sorts of guys that can be made, and that's an option. I think that's probably the better, less entertaining, for sure, but the better of the two, because your other option is to stay at heavy. And if you do that, I don't fancy your chances. So I think that's probably the better of the two, is to drop back down, drop down and take on what you can down there. It's the less exciting. It's the less... I guess, yeah, just the less exciting kind of one, but it's there. I think your other option is to stay at heavyweight, and you try and do what you should in the first place. Be a heavyweight. And he weighed less than Usyk weighed in his last fight. Usyk was 223, 221, 221. He was 214. He weighed less than Usyk. And people say Usyk's a small heavyweight. Look, he's tall, but he's not a big guy, so put on some fucking pounds. Put on some weight, put on some size, get big, be a heavyweight. You're tall, you got the power, put on some size. And then do what AJ did and rebuild. Couple of low-level fights, you're talking to Dillian White. You're talking a Franklin. I'd even say lower. Just get a win. Get a win. Then a Franklin, a White. That sort. Maybe a Ruiz, I haven't seen where he's at. Maybe a Miller, I haven't seen where. That sort of get back in. Maybe another Ruiz. If you fought Franklin, maybe a White, maybe a Ruiz. Ruiz is probably a bit better, certainly can be. So maybe not. Then you go back up, a Ruiz. You know what I'm trying to say, and a Caballero, and go back and have a proper rebuild process, because you haven't had that. You lost to Fury. 3 grueling fights with Fury, and then you've gone straight back in after year. Well, I say you haven't gone straight back in. You've taken years out, gone back in against Alhanius, 1-round knockout, another prolonged outage of the ring. Then you fight Parker. Have a proper rebuild. Get rid of Malik Scott. Sack him off. It's not worked. Neither, whose fault is it? It's neither here nor there. It's not his fault, not his fault. Just get rid of it. Sack it off. Go again. Put on some size with a new trainer, Sugar Hill type of trainer, who's going to suit your style. Go in with that and some size, and this is probably my least favourite option, but an exciting option. Go in with that, put on some size, go for gold. A couple of rebuild fights, a bit higher, Dillian White sort of level, a bit higher again, and work your way back up. That's what I would think would make some sense. You let me know your thoughts, people, in the comment section down below. Let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong, maybe I missed something out. Looking forward to reading it. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. People, you know how YouTube works. Peace.